Hey, welcome to another episode of the Nerf Report. We have a ton of news to talk about this week. PUBG got a brand new map. Spiderman finally has a release date. Pokemon Go Fest is the gift that keeps on giving. And finally is the PlayStation 5 coming out fall of 2018. We'll talk about this and much more on this week's episode of the Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn.
As if PlayStation's 2018 wasn't epic enough with God of War 4 and Detroit Become Human, the final piece in the puzzle of awesomeness has finally arrived. This week we got a release date for Insomniac's Spider-Man. The next video game for Marvel's favorite wall crawler will feature its own story, completely separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spider-Man will be exclusively available on the PlayStation 4, arriving September 7th of 2018. Well, just in case all of that awesome news couldn't sell you on the idea of whether I should buy the game or not, we've got a special treat for you this week. We have a special guest in the form of Spider-Man. That's right. The web slinger himself is appearing on the show, and without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, it's Spider-Man! Spider-Man, it is a pleasure to have you here, and honestly, when they told me you were coming, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, there's no way he's gonna... That's what that smell is. Spider-Man, for the last 24 months, you have had a breakout year. I mean, starring in your own blockbuster film, having your own video game, and now appearing in the upcoming Marvel Avengers Infinity War. Hey. Starring in Avengers Infinity War. Don't let Robert Downey Jr. tell you that he's the star. I'm the star. Of course. How foolish of me. Starring in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. But of course, I want to talk to you about the upcoming game. How heavily involved were you with the game? You kidding me? My name's in the frickin' title. How heavily involved do you think I was in the game? You know, one of the big shockers for me was when I found out that this game would have 0 microtransactions, and the game would feature 3 DLCs that could be purchased in a season pass. Did you have any say in how that worked or how that was going to kind of roll out? You know, when they came to me and they were like, look, Peter, we're not going to have any microtransactions. Star Wars kind of ruined it for us. I was like, well, let's chop this story up. We'll make it 3 extra DLCs and we'll sell a season pass because Parker's got to get his booze money. Now, Spidey, I can't have you leave without asking this question. One of the biggest complaints I've heard about the game is that it's stuck at 20 frames per second on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. What was the mindset here? I mean, a lot of games being pushed in the marketplace are at 60 frames per second. Why are you at 20 frames? You just had to go there, right? Interview was going so great, and you just had to go there. Look, I hear everybody. They're complaining. They're like, the game's only 20 frames per second. It's not 60 frames per second. Well, if your audience has such a big issue with this, why don't you ask them how they can complain about my game not being 60 frames per second and then watch your show in, 10 frames per second every single week? Well, Spider-Man, it has been a pleasure. And I truly hope that you join us on another That episode. Is highly unlikely. Spidey out. And remember, if you're interested in Marvel Spider-Man, it releases on September 7th, and it's available in a standard edition for $59.99, the deluxe edition that includes the game and 3 future DLC expansions for $79.99, or the collector's edition that includes a steelbook case, mini books, stickers, and a Spider-Man figurine for $149. Is he gone? Man, when did Spider-Man become a dick? Pokemon Go Fest, otherwise known as the nerd version of the Fire Festival, holds a very special place in my heart. In fact, it feels like it was just yesterday. Life. Chicago's Pokemon Go Fest failed miserably, putting it on the list of Chicago's greatest disasters, right behind the Great Chicago Fire of 1871.
Welcome to the stage, the CEO of Niantic, Mr. John Hankey.
We can't play! We can't play! We can't play! We can't play!
Your Team Instinct correspondent. We have maybe 10 before you guys have to catch all the Pokemon.
Overall with GoFest, how are you feeling today?
Honestly, it was a great success.
Yeah?
I've had
Types here that you've got to catch to unlock our global rewards. Just a reminder, you gotta catch fire type, water, gotta catch fire type.
For those of you that don't remember, Pokemon Go Fest was held in Chicago's Grant Park. It was supposed to be a celebration of all things Pokemon and a special Pokemon Go event that featured special awards and exclusive Pokemon only available in Chicago on that day. Except none of that happened, and it did not go well. In fact, the event ended disastrously. With connectivity and logistic issues, Niantic had to apologize for the event, refund tickets, and gave attendees $100 in in-game currencies. And unfortunately for the attendees who flew into the event, Niantic refused to reimburse flights, hotels, or rental cars, at least up until this week, because this week we found out Niantic is attempting to settle a $1.5 million class action lawsuit. That lawsuit will cover reimbursements for hotels, flights, parking fees, tolls, and other expenditures that were caused by the event's failure. A website for reimbursements will be launched shortly, and any attendee claiming over $107 will have to have receipts confirming what they spent. 2018, the year of the Battle Royale, has been dominated by Fortnite. Literally every single week I feel like it's Fortnite this or Fortnite that, or hey, did you hear Kesha's playing Fortnite? Now that didn't happen. Yet. Well, this week Papa PUBG wanted to prove to the world that he was not going down without a fight. Because this week PlayerUnknown Battle Grounds got a brand new map that proves it isn't the size of the map that matters. It's how you use it. Developer PUBG Corp unveiled a new 4x4 jungle map called Savage that is currently available on the PlayerUnknown Battle Grounds experimental servers. The smaller map was designed to encourage a more fast-paced gameplay, a gameplay that is only found in the last 10 minutes of any other normal map. Now, the key phrase here is still in testing. The brand new Savage map is not available to the public yet, and judging by Miramar, or as I like to call it, the do not snipe me, do not snipe me, do not snipe me map, was available after a couple months of being in testing. So fingers crossed that the plebs of the world, like myself, will have access to this map fairly shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week to fire up the old PlayStation rumor mill and figure out what PlayStation rumor has set the internet on fire this week in a segment called P.S. I forgot to tell you. Alright, for those of you that are new here, I will ask you one question and give you a series of answers. You put your answer in the comment section, and if you're correct, you are the winner of the week and you win a grand prize. So, without any further ado, P.S. I forgot to tell you. What is PlayStation rumored to be launching in the holiday season of 2018? Is it A, the PlayStation Switch, B, PlayStation Crossplay, C, PlayStation VR improvements, or is it D, the PlayStation 5? Go ahead and lock your answers in the comment section down below. Alright, and the answer is D, the PlayStation 5. Or at least that's what the website Semi-Accurate had to say. In fact, I really didn't read this article because it's hidden behind a $1,000 paywall to read the speculation about the PlayStation 5. But luckily for you and I, the internet being, well, the internet, the folks over at Reset Era read the article and shared all of the juicy details with all of us. The rumored PlayStation 5 will feature a Zen-based CPU and use a custom GPU based off AMD's Navi architecture. The PlayStation 5 will also come with VR features implemented on the silicone level, as the PlayStation VR, in Sony's eyes, is here to stay. The article also suggests that a large amount of PlayStation 5 development kits have been sent out to developers, and based off the large quantities out in the field, a 2018 release date should not be ruled out. Now, in the past, Semi-Accurate has correctly predicted the specs of the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One. They also correctly predicted the specs and launch dates of the PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. With that in mind, gosh, how do I say this without offending anyone? There's no way in hell the PlayStation 5 is launching in 2018. Now, with that, I fully agree that the announcement for the PlayStation 5 is probably coming sooner rather than later. I fully expect to see at least a teaser at this year's E3, but in no way is a PlayStation 5 being launched in 2018. In fact, I am so confident on that matter that I posted this tweet saying that if I'm wrong, I will get a tattoo of Shuhei Yoshida's face somewhere on my body. And I don't know, just in case Sony's watching this, if you were thinking about launching the PlayStation this year, please don't. I do not want to get a tattoo of Shuhei. And with that, we are quickly running out of time for this week's episode, so it's time to initiate Nerfed in 60 seconds. The rules of the game are simple. Every single week we have so much news to talk about and so little time to do it. So we take all the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover them as fast as humanly possible without running out of breath, passing out, or dying! Unfortunately, I forgot to stock up on Phoenix Downs this week. So yeah, we're gonna have to one-shot this. So with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock, and go. After months of speculation, Spyro is officially coming back. Spyro, the reignited trilogy, will be launching on September 21st. Really looking forward to that one. We also learned this week that Shadow of War is getting rid of all microtransactions. GG Warner Brothers, I can't believe you actually did this. Lindsay Lohan lost her lawsuit with Rockstar Games over Grand Theft Auto V stealing her likeness for an in-game character. Yeah, the judge took one look at that and tossed it out. God of War 4 will take you about 43 hours to complete the entire game. Far Cry 5 is officially Ubisoft's second best-selling game of all time. Fortnite generated 3 billion views on Twitch for the month of March. That is just insane. Steam machines unfortunately look like they are disappearing. Amazon cancels their upcoming game Breakaway. World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth is launching on August 14th. And finally, Universal Studios looks like they're planning a brand new Lord of the Rings theme park, and I think that sounds awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. If you like what you saw, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. And please, it's very important that you follow this next third step, or one of my interns might die. Share the show with a friend. With that, my name is Brian Chappelle. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching. Welcome, my name's Bryant, and let's talk about Sea of Thieves, shall we? This week, gamers young and old set sail on an adventure of a lifetime. And in case you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years and have no clue what we're talking about, let me give you an update on what Sea of Thieves is.